On the occasion of the 20th anniversary of AEWA, the Secretariat is delighted to present Stories from the Flyway, bringing together the stories of 20 extraordinary water birds, highlighting 20 years of international species conservation and management, as well as a network of dedicated people beyond comparison. The most colourful of our geese, the agile red-breasted goose, continues to baffle us with the mysteries surrounding its drop in numbers. New challenges in the form of massive wind farm developments along the Black Sea coast threaten to decimate numbers further still. An important quarry species in decline, tiger bean geese, withdraw to breed in seclusion across peatlands and mires in the north. Ensuring sustainable use is key to the continued survival of this bird. A master of adaptation to different environments and the first example of adaptive harvest management under AEWA, the Svalbard pink-footed goose has proved that international sustainable use is also possible within our Flyway. Following a devastating decline, largely due to continued illegal and accidental killing, the globally threatened lesser white-fronted goose clings to life across its intricate flyways, stretching from the Arctic to more temperate and arid zones. Flying the flag for many sea duck species in trouble, the exact causes of decline for the long-tailed duck remain shrouded in mystery. Urgent action is needed to close these knowledge gaps, as well as measures to alleviate the impacts that are known to us. Previously widespread and plentiful, the ferruginous duck is also a cause for concern. With less and less of those distinctive white eyes bobbing in the marshes, and with no champion for its cause, the future of the so-called fudge duck remains uncertain. Although the most plentiful of all flamingo species, the luminescent lesser flamingo is perhaps most at risk, with the continued destruction of its specific habitats ever looming on the horizon. These ancient birds cannot easily adapt to changes in their environment, which makes them especially vulnerable. Feared to number as few as 250 individual birds, and to only occur in 2 African countries, the critically endangered white-winged flufftail teeters on the brink of extinction. Involving local communities is crucial to the survival of the species. The epitome of regal elegance and beauty, grey-crowned cranes also continue to struggle with habitat loss and the illegal trade of birds and eggs for zoos and private collections. Our only penguin, these dapper little fellows, have persevered in the face of challenges, including historic overharvest and destruction of their nests. Now they face new challenges, including the disappearance of their food. Whilst the spoonbills in Europe are faring relatively well, the status of the other populations remains precarious. Habitat destruction and illegal killing threaten the existence of these colonial breeders. Our one and only original punk, the northern bald ibis, remains critically endangered, with the Middle East population all but lost from the wild. Yet the persistence of the North African birds gives us hope for the future of the species. Especially those that are most inconspicuous need strong supporters to ensure their survival, as is the case for the slaty egret, one of the only globally threatened herons or egrets on mainland Africa. Illegal trade and habitat loss are continued threats towards this dinosaur hidden deep in the African wetlands, the enigmatic shoebill. Plunging headlong into the depths in search of their prey, Cape gannets are increasingly in danger due to depleted fish stocks. Their quest for food also brings them into contact with fishing gear, all too often with perilous consequences. Living on harsh subtropical coastlines, the highly social Cape cormorant is dependent on sustainable inshore fish that it catches by diving, often in groups. Diminishing access to key prey species is putting its colonies at risk. Speedy little bolts of black lightning, darting to catch food in the wake of the surf, African oyster catchers have one of the most restricted distributions of African Eurasian waders along South African coastlines. Rebounding thanks to conservation efforts, the population remains small and therefore requires vigilance and care. The critically endangered sociable lapwing, once feared to be near extinction, is thought to number over 10,000 birds today. Still far from being out of the woods, these lapwings undertake a truly amazing migration from the steppes of Kazakhstan across Asia, the Arabian Peninsula, and Africa. In Europe, the black-tailed godwit breeds mainly in managed wet grasslands. Its widespread decline and contraction of range has been linked to the intensification of European agriculture. Research has shown us what measures are necessary to halt the falling numbers. It is now up to us to take action. The tiny, near-threatened Damara tern lays its eggs amongst sand dunes where they are camouflaged to perfection. Human disturbance and coastal developments are amongst the most serious threats to eggs and chicks. The response to our call for participation in this project was overwhelming. A total of 73 individuals contributed to the book. They are, of course, but a fraction of the hundreds and thousands of people that have made AEWA what it is today, and they continue to work for the conservation and sustainable use of our water birds. 122 photos were donated by 56 photographers from all walks of life and from across the Flyway, ranging from professional photographers and aircraft engineers to nature conservationists and corporate CEOs. As is the case for the species we protect, the appreciation of the wild beauty of migratory birds also knows no boundaries. An additional 17 authors from the AEWA community matched words to the pictures, adeptly bringing us the stories of the 20 featured species. So thank you to everyone who is a part to this extraordinary network. It has been an honor and pleasure to work with you during the past 20 years. This book is dedicated to you all. We are looking forward to the next 20.